My cat, Mr. Muffin, has long fur, and sometimes when he gets diarrhea, he needs help. He'll come sit next to me and wait until I smell him, because he's asking for help, but he hates the solution, which is a bath. My name is Francisco, and welcome to 9 Lives to Live, where I and my 3 cats, Calypso, Skyfall, and Mr. Muffin, help you improve the lives of your cats. Now, this is for new cat owners. Cats in general do not need baths. They take care of the grooming themselves. They are not like dogs in this respect. But there are situations where you will have to give your cat a bath. Sometimes it's like Mr. Muffin. They get something on themselves which they cannot clean themselves, and you need to help them out. Sometimes it might be an emergency. They might get something like lily pollen on themselves or antifreeze or step into something else that is toxic. And that is an emergency. You have to get it off immediately. There is no time to wait. You cannot let them start to lick it off. Sometimes your cat might be sick, or because of its age, it might be rather lethargic and it doesn't have the energy to wash itself and to keep up with its grooming. It also might have fleas, and there are special instructions and special flea shampoos, but they require baths for the cat. Your cat also might have mobility issues because of its age, or maybe because it's obese. It cannot reach certain areas that are important for it to keep clean. And lastly, there are situations where you have to give it some kind of medicated shampoo because of a skin condition or something else that the vet has prescribed. So if you have to give your cat a bath, there are some techniques that I'm going to share with you that have helped me. But everybody has their own method, so if you have a different method or other suggestions that I do not bring up, please put them in the comments below. I'm sure everybody would appreciate it, getting as wide a perspective on how to give your cat a bath as possible. The main problem is that most cats don't like water. They don't want to be immersed in it. They don't want it on their skin. Don't be mad. I'm trying to help you out. Come on. Now, this is not true for all cats, and some cats like to play with the water, but they like to play with it when they're in control, not when you're in control. They don't want you to grab them and put them in the water. If they're going to play with it, they're going to play with it on their own terms. So in general, giving a cat a bath is a struggle between what the cat wants and what you think is necessary. So start by getting things ready, and in my opinion, the most important thing to get ready is a towel. Get any kind of towel that's large and completely dry. You will also need cat shampoo, but if you don't have cat shampoo, something mild like baby shampoo will also work. If you're using flea shampoo, make sure you use cat flea shampoo. Do not use dog flea shampoo because it has a toxic chemical that is very toxic to cats but is okay for dogs. And if you need to give your cat a regular bath because of its age or whatever the reason, ask your vet for a recommendation about the right shampoo to use on a regular basis. I think it's also useful to have a washcloth, especially if you're going to have to wash its face. Some people like to also have a cup or something else that you can use to pour water with. And to help dry them off, especially if your cat has long fur, a hair dryer is also an option. I suggest that you also prepare the space. I think that a sink is easier than the tub. You won't have to bend over. It'll be a little bit easier to control your cat, and it'll be a more limited space. And the bathroom is useful because you can close the door. It's not such a big space, and the cat has less places to run off and hide. Now, some people suggest that before you give the cat a bath, you should trim its nails. Now, if you know that you're going to have to give your cat a bath, and it's a regular thing and can plan ahead, then I think that's a great idea. But for most of us who give cats a bath only when they need it, sometimes there is no time. And you do not want to trim a cat's nails right before you give it a bath because it's going to be stressed already. Wear long sleeves, preferably of a material that is thick. And I've learned this from experience because the nails will come out. Get some help if you can. Somebody who's going to be able to give you the things that you need or help you to control the cat if necessary. Warm up the water. I suggest hot water. Now, it has to be hot, but it can't be so hot that you cannot keep your own hands in it for an extended period of time. If you can't keep your hands in the hot water, it's too hot. Don't forget the cat's body temperature is warmer than our body temperature, and so they feel the cold more than we do. And nobody likes to take a bath in cold water. If you can also heat up the bathroom air, also do that, because the warmth of the air will also help them feel a little bit more comfortable. Now, I suggest that you run the water instead of filling up the sink, even if it's only an inch or two of water in the sink. I think that cats are used to running water. They hear it all the time when we take our showers or we wash dishes. They are also sometimes playing with it, and they can play with running water. They're familiar with that. On the other hand, being dipped into a pool of water, that's something new and very strange to them. And the newer and the stranger it is, the more difficult time your cat will have dealing with it. Cats are suspicious of the new and strange. It's what helps them to survive. So the more that you can coax instead of force, the better it is. But I am well aware that this is easier said than done, and sometimes we just have to force our cat, especially in an emergency. Now, if they have only one area that's dirty, just focus on that one area. There's no need to dip them into water or get their whole body wet. Just wash the area that is dirty. In some cases, you might not have to bathe it at all. Just use a damp cloth to wash the affected area. If you need to wash their face, use the washcloth. Just get it moist and with hot water and use it like a mother cat would use its tongue. This avoids getting water into their eyes, into their ears, into their nose, things that they will absolutely hate. Now, kittens are a whole lot easier to bathe, not only because they're smaller and easier to control, but because I think that they are used to being bathed by their mothers in exactly this way. Now, I suggest that you wet your cat, either the whole body or the part that you're going to wash, before you add the shampoo. It'll just make it a lot easier to spread the shampoo. Now, in general, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time soaping the area. Just a couple of quick rubs will get the shampoo spread, and that's enough. I think it's much more important to focus on the rinsing. You do not want to leave any shampoo on your cat, especially if the shampoo is medicated or has some kind of flea treatment in it. Because the first thing your cat is going to do after you bathe it is going to be licking itself all over. And if you leave any residual shampoo, it's going to ingest it. There will be a temptation to shortchange the rinsing period, but please don't do that. To dry them off, I suggest that you first squeegee their fur with your hands and get some of the excess water off. Wrap the towel around your cat and rub in the direction of the fur and also opposite the direction of the fur. Cat fur can hold a lot of water, and you want to get as much of it out, and it's going to be difficult if you don't rub against the direction of their fur. Now, for some cats, especially long-haired cats, I think using a hair dryer is also useful. On the cool setting, not on the hot setting, but on the cooler setting. Use it only, however, if your cat is not afraid of the sound and afraid of the hair dryer. If they haven't been near one, they might be more scared of it, and it won't be very useful. Now, in general, cats will get over this ordeal pretty quickly. They will run off and start grooming themselves and lick their fur until they're satisfied that they are back to normal. So for those of you who need to wash your cats, I hope that this helped you. Subscribe if you found this useful, and thank you so much for watching.